Wow, Shabbat Shalom, friends. I'm very, very happy and honored and humbled to be back here in Omaha, Nebraska, at Temple Israel at the Tri-Faith Center. In 2021, I was here with my wife, Feliza. We're sharing some of our music. It's really nice to see that some of those musical compositions have stuck in this community, and I'm very grateful to my friend and colleague, Cantor Alexander, for keeping up this musical tradition that comes from the Galilee, Israel, here and bringing it here to Omaha, Nebraska. When we were here, you actually had COVID, and we never got to pray together in worship. So thank God that we're back here together. And it's really nice to see so many of you, some of you dear friends that we already know, and to meet new friends. And when I was here, I was so moved and inspired by the Tri-Faith Center that you have here. And I said back then to you, friend, we have to come back here. I have to come back here one time with my friends from the Galilee, from the spirit of the Galilee, my neighbors, my partners, the leaders, because what we do over there is not, similar to what you guys are doing here at the Tri-Faith Center with this beautiful vehicle that you're building, where each tradition stands proud in its spiritual ways, but also you collaborate and create a very important future and present together in this vision of collaboration. I tell people in the Galilee about the Tri-Faith Center in Omaha, and they say, Tri-Faith, we understand, but Omaha, what's that? So live and learn, right? Some geography as well as some dialogue work, and that's very, very inspiring to us that this place exists. This week's Parsha, in fact, how do we make it that we can see the text? We say abracadabra?
Nate, can we show the text on the screen again? You gotta share your screen. Oh, it's not shared anymore? Sorry. He kicked me off. I didn't know.
That's okay.
There you go.
Good things comes to those who wait. So this week's Parsha, ואתה תצווה את בני ישראל ויקחו אליך שמן זית זך כתית למאור להעלות נר תמיד. You shall further instruct the Israelites to bring your clear oil of beaten olives for lighting, for kindling lamps continuously. This is something that the people of Israel are commanded to do in this parasha in Exodus. And I want to focus on this idea of lamps, of a light that we have to keep lighting continuously. Right? In the tabernacle, they had an actual menorah that they were supposed to lit and make sure that the olive oil is always there and the light is never extinguished. We also have a ner tamid in the synagogue, which is remnants and a memory precisely of that, a light that keeps on burning continuously. Yeah? But let's think about what that symbol actually means. It means that we are commanded as the people of Israel to always maintain a light. Now, sometimes this commandment is very difficult. What happens when really bad things happen? What happens when our reality is shaken? What happens when you wake up in the morning, like what happened in our country a few months ago, to a catastrophe that is who could imagine? And everything that has been happening since. How do we maintain this commandment? It's one thing to have a symbol in the synagogue, that's a physical thing, but how do we keep it in our hearts? It's not easy. And the reason why we know that this commandment is not just a technical one, a menorah in the tabernacle, or something that we have with electricity, I guess, in a synagogue, is because of a verse that we see further down the line, just 3 or 4 verses after the first one, ואתה תדבר אל כל חכמי לב אשר מלטיב רוח חוכמה. Next, you shall instruct all who are wise at heart, whom I have endowed with the gift of skill. And there has been people in our tradition who have made a link between these two verses. If you come tomorrow morning for Torah study, I promised we'll study more about that from the book of Zohar, the Kabbalistic book, explaining deeper that this light is to be kept in our hearts. That is the place where we're supposed to keep that light. That is the reason why the word heart appears in this text. That is where we have to maintain this light continuously. But I admit that it's difficult. So I want to tell you one way by which I am able to live in Israel, in the Galilee, not very far from the northern front, where unfortunately there's strife between Israel and Lebanon, so to speak, even though it's not really between Israel and Lebanon at all. It's just some violence that is taking place and taking these countries hostage in a sense. And what makes me able to keep a continuous light in hard times? It is my partners and my peers at the Spirit of the Galilee leadership group. We have established a group of leaders in the Galilee called the Spirit of the Galilee. We've been working together for 4 years. The leaders are community leaders. Some are clergy, some are activists in their communities. They come from the Jewish faith. They come from the Muslim faith, from the Christian faith, and from the Druze faith. Jews and Arabs who work together, who meet regularly every month, who study and teach one another, and who also build trust and become a network of leaders. And as a result, we are able to bring our communities together in good times and in bad times. And when I was there in Israel at October 7th and in the weeks that have preceded it, what filled me with awe is the dedication and the devotion of my peers, of my partners, of the other leaders from the various religions, how they attended to their communities, how they have been helping people to go through this crisis, and how everyone in the Galilee, amidst all this violence, we're working very hard to make sure that our neighboring communities do not succumb to violence. And indeed, until this very moment, 5 months later, not one stone has been thrown in the Galilee. Not one gunshot has been aimed between neighbors in the Galilee. And that is much to do to the work of the leaders, my partners, who inspire me in their work. So we couldn't bring the entire 30 leaders from the Galilee who are part of our group, but we're very fortunate to have with us 2 of them. Father Abuna Saba, he's the leader of a church that has only 5,000 people in the village of Iblin, about 25 minutes from where I live, from where my community is, and a very, very accomplished and devoted Ghadir Hani, another partner of ours, an amazing leader in the Muslim community, a feminist Muslim, a woman who is basically an active member of almost every peace initiative that exists in Israel. You'll find her there, and it's not an exaggeration. And I would like to please call the both of you to join me at the bima. Shabbat Shalom. So, this is Ghadir, and this is Abuna Saba.
Shabbat Shalom.
And what I've asked my friends to do here, since we came, we've been meeting many groups here at the synagogue, at the Tri-Faith Center. Tomorrow, Abuna will speak at the church. Saturday night, at what time? 6 o'clock, there was a program at the Tri-Faith Center where we will be sharing our work and our experiences in the Galilee in Israel right now. and our efforts towards a shared society, an equal and just shared society in Israel and the region. This Shabbat evening, I've asked my friends to share some of their prayers and poetry so that we can all be inspired by their spiritual traditions. And I would like to ask you, Abuna, to start. Abuna Saba will share with us in the Byzantine Arab Greek Orthodox tradition. In Arabic, he will be singing Psalm 51, reminding us that our job is to work at that pure heart so that we can keep that continuous light. Maybe we're inspired by your prayer, Abuna.
ارحمني يا الله كعظيم رحمتك وكمثل كثرة رأفتك امحو آثمي قلبا نقيا اخلق فيا الله وروحا مستقيما جدد في أحشائي لا تطرحني من أمام وجهك وروحك القدوس لا تنزعه مني امنحني بهجة خلاصك وبروح رئاسي عضدني. Shabbat Shalom לכולם. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abuna Saba, for blessing us with your chanting of Psalm 51. And I would like to ask you, Ghadir, to share with us the words. You can stay, Abuna. Don't go anywhere. We need you. The words of the poet Muhammad Darwish, a Palestinian poet. Mahmoud Darwish, a Palestinian poem that will be read in Arabic and then translated into the English language.
فكر بغيرك وأنت تعد طعامك فطورك فكر بغيرك لا تنس قوت الحمام وأنت تقود حروبك فكر بغيرك لا تنسى من يطلبون السلام وأنت تسدد فاتورة الماء فكر بغيرك من يرضعون الغمام وأنت تعود إلى البيت بيتك فكر بغيرك لا تنسى شعب الخيام وأنت تنام وتحصي الكواكب فكر بغيرك ثمة من لم يجد حيزاً للمنام وأنت تحرر نفسك بالاستعارات فكر بغيرك من فقدوا حقهم في الكلام وأنت تفكر بالآخرين البعيدين فكر بنفسك قل ليتني شمعة في الظلام.
When you prepare your breakfast, think upon others. Do not forget to feed the pigeons. When you engage in your wars, think upon others. Do not forget those who demand peace. As you pay your water bill, think upon others who seek sustenance from the clouds, not a tap. And when you return home to your house, think upon others, such as those who live in tents. When you fall asleep counting planets, think upon others who cannot find a place to sleep. And as you search for meaning with fancy metaphors, think upon others who have lost their right to speak. And when you think of others far away, think of yourself and say, I am a candle in the darkness.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Ghadir.
so from the word of our parasha, the commandment to keep a continuous light in our hearts, to Abuna Saba's inspirational chanting from Psalms, reminding us that Psalms are sung in many languages, in Hebrew, in English, in Arabic as well, and to the inspiring words of the Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish, who is reminding us of the very same light in the Arabic language. May we always remember this commandment. Shabbat Shalom.